הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי לה 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 לי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, יאללה לי לה 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 לי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It is so nice to be with you on this fabulous Shabbat morning.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
So nice to be with you too, Rabbi. Great. Okay. I'm glad we're off to a very good start. Nice, warm connection we have here and everyone in the congregation. Nice. Oh, thank you. I got one person to wave back. Thank you. Now 4. All right, great. Excellent. Welcome here to Congregation B'nai Israel. Those of you who are watching on our live stream, we are thrilled to have you celebrating Shabbat morning. And, also maybe Tyler and Logan also. Well, let me give you a little sneak peek at that. Oh, there they are. There they are. Hello. There they are. Hello. So here at Congregation B'nai Israel, our services are not spectator sports. So we'd like for you to participate. So even though you're virtual, you're welcome to get a virtual prayer book. They're not not difficult to get a hold of. You're going to go to cbiboca.org, cbiboca.org. Go there, hit the worship button. Then there's a spot that says Shabbat. Hit Shabbat, and then you'll see, if you scroll down a little bit, there's an option for a virtual prayer book, so that way you can pray along with us and chant along with us and read along with us throughout our entire service. So that way we can all be together for the next 4 to 6 hours of our service. I got one chuckle in the congregation, and most everyone else is terrified. We are going to continue with our service officially. We can't really start it until the boys, our B'nai Mitzvah, get their talitot, because that's the official demarcation that you are a bar mitzvah. So we're inviting up Mom to join us and present talitot to the boys.
On this Shabbat, we rejoice in your coming of age in our tradition. As a symbol of your entrance as a responsible member into the adult Jewish community, it is my honor to present you with this talit. Our tradition teaches us to put tzitzit, fringes, on the corners of our garments in every generation as a reminder to observe all of God's commandments. Now, as bar mitzvah, a child of commandments, you are ready to make moral choices, to grow emotionally and intellectually, and to take responsibility for the mitzvot of your decisions. Be holy unto God, bring blessing to our world, and may you bring to the household of Israel the same pride and joy, nachas, that you bring to us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahit atev batitzit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu Lehitatef, batzitzit. Wrap this talis close around me, close and warm and holy. Wrap this talis, my tradition, for fringes that remind me, traditions that remind me. Lehitatef, 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 batzitzit. Amen.
And we thank God for bringing us this very special and fabulous moment together as we continue with Shehachianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehachianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
I might have forgot to mention that's our associate cantor, Sarah Freudenberger, over there. I'm Rabbi Keller. We are part of the clergy team here at Congregation B'nai Israel. This is, friends, our associate cantor's last Shabbat with us at Congregation B'nai Israel. This is the last Shabbat. She is moving to the frozen tundra of Boston, of the area of Boston, to Swampville, Swamp Scott, Swampy, Swamp thing. We're not what it's Swamp Scott is what it's called actually for real. So this is the last service. So all autographs will be available after Shabbat is over, so that you can say goodbye to Sarah. But we will miss her tremendously, and I'm going to pause at least 40 times throughout the service to mention that this is her last service with us. So again, that's Associate Cantor Sarah Freudenberger. I'm Rabbi Keller, and we are going to continue with our service. So we are going to dive into our prayer book, into our Siddur, page 192.
Ma tovu alecha Yaakov, o alecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael.
We are going to continue now with Chatzi Kaddish, which can be found on page 224 in the brackets. 224 in the brackets.
Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash meraba be'alma divrach irutei ve'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyom echon u'v'chayedecho b'etz Yisrael b'gala b'gala u'vizman kariv v'meru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam olamei amaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha barihu Leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata tamiran be'alma v'meru amen.
Continue with our call to worship, Baruch Hu, on page 226, and together we stand.
Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vaed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or v'orei choshech oseh shalom uvoreh et hakol. We thank God for making day. Baruch atah Adonai, praised are you, Adonai, creator of heavenly lights. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ham-orot. We continue with Shema, page 232, 233.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. We continue now on page 234.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzacha hayom alovecha. Ve'shinamtam levanecha v'dibartam bam v'shitecha b'beitecha u'letecha b'derech u'shokbecha u'vkumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktartam amezot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'sitem kedoshim lehem ani Adonai Elohem asher otzet Elohem meretz Mitzrayim le'Elohem Elohim ani Adonai Elohem.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
We thank God for making day. That is our connection to creation. We just spoke the words of Shema V'ahavta, thanking God and connecting to God's revelation. And now we move on to what we hope will be redemption, and redemption soon for all of us, with the words of Mi Chamocha that are on page 240.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh. No ratehilot oseh fele, no ratehilot oseh fele. Shira chadeshah shirhu geulim leshimcha al sefer yachad kulam hodu vehim lehu ve'amaru. Adonai yimloch leolam vayed. Adonai yimloch leolam vayed. Sur Yisrael, kuma bezrat Yisrael, uftechinu mecha Yehuda veYisrael. Go aleinu, Adonai tzevaot shemo, Kadosh Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
And now we transition into Hatfilah, or the Amidah. That is on page 242. And together we stand.
Adonai Sefatatiftaf Ufia Gita Hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagidol Hagibor ben Ahara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Elohei Hakol, Vazoher Hasadeh Avot Bima'ot, Umavi Geolah Yibnei V'Hahem, Lamashma U'Nahara, Melech Hozer U'Mashiach U'Magan, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Sarat Sarah. Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mehayei Hakol Atarav Leoshia, Marid Mehayei Hayim Behesed, Mehayei Hakol Beraham Yivabim, Zomen Noflim Berofi Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayei Emnato, Lichkei Afara, Michamocha Baal Giverot, Umido Melach, Melech Mamid, Umakayei, Umat Mitzvah, Nehemana Ta'al, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei Hakol.
We continue now with the Kedusha, with the special Kedusha for Shabbat. That can be found on page 248.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך הארץ, כבודו, אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מדיר שמך בכל הארץ, ברוך כבוד אדוני במקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ורחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהיך ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש, קדושתך נקדיש, ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם.
We continue silently now from page 248 through page, I will tell you, 260. We go from page 248 to 260 with their silent prayers, and then when you're finished, please be seated. We are going to transition now to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for reading the Torah on this fine Shabbat. Who's excited for some Torah?
Woohoo!
All right. I'm excited for some Torah. We're going to be hearing a bunch of Torah since we got 2 boys here, so we're going to be hearing 6 aliyot of Torah. It's going to be really great. Usually here at B'nai Israel we hear 4, but we get 6 today. I said we get 6 today.
Woo!
All right, okay. That's much better. Thank you. It's good. All right. We're going to continue. 362, big jump for our Torah service.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai v'ein kemasecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor Adonai melech Adonai melech Adonai melech leolam v'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitain Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom
Stand.
Av harachamim heitiv averson ha'et Zion Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim Ki v'cha levad batachnu melech elam v'nisa Adon olamim
364.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah Ki mitzion teitzei Torah Udevar Adonai Merushalayim
366.
Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'kedushato Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo Gadlu le'Adonai iti Uneromema Shemo Yachtav
Please be seated. If we were not in the middle of figuring out a pandemic, we would be able to open the ark doors, take out the Torah, walk around with it. Everyone would be able to kiss. But we're getting there. We're getting closer. So God willing, we'll be there. So the Torah is already out on the table, and in a few moments, we're going to be hearing some chanting from our B'nai Mitzvah. I'm very excited about that. But before they share literal words from the Torah, they are going to be sharing their own words of Torah. They're going to be sharing their own thoughts on this week's Torah portion, on what it feels like for them to become B'nai Mitzvah, what this process has been like, all kinds of wonderful things. They're going to make sure their mics are on. They're going to be speaking very slowly. They're going to be speaking very deliberately. They're going to be enunciating each and every single word of their Dvar Torah. Right, guys? All right, I'm getting some thumbs up. So, now some beautiful words from our B'nai Mitzvah.
We would like to thank all our family and friends for being here today, both in person and virtually. We wish that we could be together to celebrate this occasion, but feel your love and support from afar. The Torah portion this week, Naso, teaches us about oaths and promises. A Nazarite oath is a deal formed between yourself and God. When you are taking this type of oath, you are asking God to enter this agreement because you are seeking something of such high value for yourself. What you seek is not material or financial objects, but really something only God has control over. These oaths are taken very seriously. There are 3 rules which you must follow when you enter a Nazarite oath. First, you're not allowed to consume any fermented beverages. Next, you're not allowed to cut your hair. And finally, you are not permitted to be around a dead body. These rules are meant to be taken seriously. You are swearing to God that in return for what you sought, you would adhere to the 3 rules. We don't live in a world where 13-year-old children drink fermented beverages, spend time near dead bodies, and we are unable to cut our hair. Although we do live in a society where the word promised is used too often, and maybe not as taken as seriously as God has intended. After preparing for this day and learning about oaths and promises, we now recognize that promise is a word that should be used more carefully and with better intent and purpose. A promise is something that we should uphold and see through as an obligation that we must meet. Thank you.
As B'nai Mitzvah, we now have obligations to fulfill. We are not obligated to follow Nazarite laws, but to fulfill commandments, mitzvot. Doing for others less fortunate than ourselves is a commandment we were taught from a very young age. Whether it's bringing tzedakah each Friday for Shabbat, collecting food items for the local pantry as part of B'nai's 3-year-old prom project, or donating our toys and clothing that we no longer needed, we learned the importance of giving. For our Mitzvah project, we raised money for an organization called SCOPE. SCOPE stands for Summer Camp Opportunities Promote Education. SCOPE provides children from underserved communities a chance to go to overnight camp. For the past 5 summers, we have attended Kenmont and Kenwood camps. It is our home away from home, where we count the days in between home and returning. Camp allows us opportunities to be independent, grow socially and emotionally, and just be ourselves. We felt it was so important that these opportunities be provided to others who would never have had the opportunity otherwise. The goal of SCOPE is not to only send children to camp, but to also provide them the benefits of summer camp, like the ones we have received for many years. Thank you to all of our family and friends who donated. We have raised enough money for 2 campers to spend 2 weeks each at an overnight camp. We hope they benefit from the experience the way we have. Not only did we fulfill the commandment of doing for others less fortunate with our Mitzvah project, but we're also here standing today remembering children who perished in the Holocaust. These children didn't have the religious freedom to practice their Judaism and perished before being able to be called to the Torah as bar mitzvah. Today, we honor Bruno Zacharias Ron, born March 1st, 1924, and Emmanuel Manis Ron, born March 18th, 1931. They were from Dusseldorf, Germany, and sons of Israel and Riva Ron.
Tamer, Cantor, Rabbi, thank you for guiding us on this journey, leading up to today and helping making it a reality. Tamer, thank you for spending the past 9 months, twice a week, preparing us. Your patience, guidance, and support has meant so much. Rabbi Keller, Cantor Sarah, our check-ins and conversations were as much fun as they were educational. We appreciate the time you both put into making today perfect. Cantor, we've had the pleasure of knowing you since we were 18 months old at Colmy, and feel so fortunate you were here to share in our simcha. We wish you much luck as you move on to the Northeast. Papi Steve, Grandma Flo, Rita, and Mike, thank you for being here on our big day. Dada Michelle, every Shabbat dinner you forced us to participate in all led up to today. Thank you for that. Grandma Carrie, Papi George, you guys supported us throughout our lives, always being there for us through our ups and downs. You helped me realize who I am, and I couldn't have done it without you. You make sure that Ty and I are the priority no matter what. Thank you. Papi Howard and Grandma Wendy, you have always supported us and helped install important values. Lately, you've had the pleasure of taking care of me while my brother had doctor's appointments. All the trip to Papa Kwan's has made me really appreciate all the time we get to spend together sitting around talking for hours. Finally, Mom, without your constant care and belief in me, I would not be standing here today. I don't think I could even do this if it wasn't for your love, care, and support. However many times I overflow my cereal bowl, spilling it all over, you always clean up the huge mess. I appreciate that. You're always sometimes listening to my brother and me bicker at all hours of the night, and you don't get angry. This is truly a reminder of how much you really love us. Mom, you're a single parent who teaches all day and takes care of us too simultaneously, and you somehow deal with it all. What I'm really trying to say is thank you to the moon and back and all around for making the past 4,732 days some of the best I could have asked for. I love you.
Tomer, Rabbi, and Cantor, you were the ones that made this day possible for both of us. We came back to B'nai Religious School only a year ago, and you made sure that nothing would hold us back. Tomer, you made sure that we were prepared for today and helped us in a way that showed us encouragement and support. Your kind and easygoing demeanor made it so easy to attain our goals. Cantor and Rabbi, you made this journey fun and easy. We learned so much from the both of you. Our conversations were always educational, but in a way that we never bored to learn. Rabbi, your Zoom background's always impressed. We look forward to seeing what the next one would be. Cantor Sarah, we've known you since we were babies, and it's so nice to have you here today. As you move to a new synagogue, please know you will be missed, and we wish you the best of luck. Poppy Steve, Mike, Grandma Flo, and Rita. Thank you for making the effort to be here on our big day. We're glad you can share it with us. Dad and Michelle, thank you for committing to our Jewish education and all of the Shabbat dinners you made us participate in. Grandma Carrie and Papa George, you have been alongside us throughout it all. You give of yourselves in a way that nobody else does. You are there to support us and listen to us at all hours of the night, whether it's a dilemma or a funny story or a medical question for Pop. You guys are always there. You make us number one and never let us be without. Thank you. Poppy Howard and Grandma Wendy. I love the time we spend together. Poppy's jokes, Grandma's cooking, and all the TV clips and movies we watch together are some of my favorites. Thank you for always being there to lend a helping hand, a word of wisdom, or just to listen. Your support of us and Mom means the world. Finally, save the best for last. Mom. Mom, words can't describe how much I love you and how much you have helped me make me who I am today. You are the person who has been there for me no matter what. We've gone through thick and thin. I may have stayed up past my bedtime, snuck in a late-night snack, and you have never been the type of mom to get mad, but rather just say, don't do it again. You are the best and only mom I could ever want. I'm so happy that you've been helping me prepare for this day. You somehow managed to do it all. Thank you again, Mom. Words cannot explain how much I love you. Thank you all for being here and celebrating with us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Wow, that was fabulous.
That was really good. Do you guys want to do it again? No? All right, great, okay. I just wanted to see if perhaps maybe you want to do that a second time. All right. So the boys are getting the Torah prepared to get in the right spot for them to be reading from. As you heard the beautiful words describing Torah, now they're going to be actually reading from the Torah. You can follow along with us, by the way. If you have any device of any kind, electronic or book form, where you want to follow along with the Torah reading, we are in the Torah portion called Naso. Here in our sanctuary, we are on page 923 in the Torah books. 923. Out there in the world, we are in the book of Numbers, chapter 4, verse 21. So if you want to follow along with us out there in the world, whatever device you're using, we are in the book of Numbers, chapter 4, verse 21, but here in our sanctuary, 923 will get you there even more quickly. We are going to be, the boys will be alternating. I keep saying we. I'm not reading any Torah. The boys are going to be alternating between Torah. Each will be doing 3 different aliyot, like I told you earlier. 6 aliyot total of Torah. And they're going to be also, we're going to be inviting people up to join us on the bima to take part in our aliyah. Aliyah in Hebrew means to ascend or go up. And so we're going to ask people to not just come sort of up and be near the boys, but also to be up and ascend to be near the Torah itself. So, without further ado, it's a pleasure to invite up for the honor of the first Aliyah, Eric Witz, Michelle Bloom, Flo Witz, Steve Witz, Rita Bloom, Michael Bloom. Yamdu Baruch ben Shimon v'Tzipora, Naomi bat Menachem v'Shoshana, Tzipora, Shimon, Shoshana, Menachem, Nalei Torah.
Vada Berdonai, Hamoshele Mor. Oh,
No,
sorry.
wait, we gotta read. Baruch Adonai HaBarak. Baruch Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'charvanu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, notein haTorah.
Baruch Adonai, Hamasher Lemor, Naso, Et Rosh, B'nei Gershon, Gam Hem, Levet Avotam, Mishpeotam, Miben, Shalashim Shana, V'mala, Ad, Ben Hamishim Shana, Tifkot Otam, Kol Haba, Mitzvot Sava, Lavod Avodah, Belhal Moed, Zot Avodah, Mishpehot Hagershuni, Lavod Umasa, Venasu, Et Yeriyot Hamishkan, Ve'et Ohel Moed, Misehu, Umisei, Et Hashasher Alav, Mimala, Ve'et Masa, Peta Ohel Moed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'hayei olam l'tahenu. Baruch atah Adonai, notein haTorah.
Congratulations, Logie. Very good.
For the honor of the second Aliyah, Marissa Rand, Carrie McGee, George McGee, Howard Rand, Wendy Rand. Yamdu, Mira bat Chanoch, Chaya bat, V'chaya Rivka, V'chanoch David Yalei Torah.
Baruch Adonai Havorach, Baruch Adonai Havorach Leolam Va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai, notein haTorah.
Ve'et Kal Hatzer, Ve'et Masa, Peta, Asher Hatzer, Asher Al Mishkan, Ve'al Mizbeach Saviv, Ve'et Mitrehem, Ve'et Kol Kalei, Avodotam, Ve'et Kol Asher, Yaseh, Lahem, Ve'avadu, Al Pi, Aharon Avanav, Tihei, Kol Avodat, B'nei Hagershuni, Lechol Masa'am, Lechol Avodatam, Uvgadetem Alehem B'mishmeret, Et Kol Masa'am, Zot Avodat, Mishpehot, B'nei Hagershuni, Be'ohel Moed, Umishmartam, Beyat Itmar, Ben Haron, HaKohen.
After blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, notein haTorah.
Amen. For the third Aliyah, Tyler. Ya'amod Reuven ben Baruch habar mitzvah.
Good going. Doing great. You go.
Baruch Adonai Havorach.
Baruch Adonai Havorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Havorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen. B'nei Merari, v'mishparotam u'veit avotam, tifkodotam. מבין 30 שנה ומעלה עד בין 50 שנה תפקודם כל הבא לצבא לעבוד עבודת אוהל מועד וזאת משמרת מסעם לכל עבודתם באוהל מועד כאשר המשכן ועמודיו ואדוניו. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'heyeh olam nata betohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. The mood. Oh, me too.
Now we go on to the fourth Aliyah. We're going to invite the same crew up that came up for the first Aliyah to join us for the fourth Aliyah. There's a pattern. Now you guys are experts on the blessing and the placement and everything. You guys are experts. Perfect.
Asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
V'amudei chesaviv v'aneihem, b'didatam u'medreihem, l'chol kelehem, l'chol avodantam, u'shemot hakati kol ved b'chol moed, v'yad itamar v'haron hakohan, v'yivkot Moshe v'haron, u'tzieh ha'ida b'nei hagati, l'mishparatam l'ved avotam. מבין 30 שנה ומעלה ועד מבין 30 שנה ומעלה ועד בין 50 שנה כל הבא לצבא לעבודה במועד והיו פק... I finished my first one. That was the end, right? Okay. Yes, I got it.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Thank you, thank you.
For the honor of the fifth Aliyah, guess who?
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Ben Shaloshim Shana Vamala Veyad Ben Hamishim Shana Kolaba Latava Levada Helmoed Vehu Fekudehem Lemishproton Alpa Yim Sheve Meyot Ben Hamishim Ela Pekude Mishpehot Hakati Kolvad Helmoed Asher Pakad Moshe Vaharon Alpedonai Beyad Moshe.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. For the honor of the sixth Aliyah, Logan, Ya'amod Rafael ben Baruch ve'meira habar mitzvah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Ufekude ben Gershon lemishbeatam ulevad avotam ben Shaloshim Shana Vamala Ve'ad Ben Hamishim Shana Kolaba Latava Levodat Helmoed Vehu Pekudehem Lemishbeatam Levad avotam Alpai Beshish Meot Ushloshim Ele Pekude Mishpeho ben Gershon Kolvad Helmoed Be'at Itamar B'Haron HaKohen Vayivkot Moshe B'Haron Asher Pakad Moshe B'Haron Apirnai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'hayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. With the Torah in front of us, we are going to take a moment to think of those in our community who are in need of healing, physical, emotional, or spiritual healing. If there is someone that you are thinking of and you wish to share their name, please share their name at this time here in our sanctuary. And if you are on the live stream, you feel free to type it in and add it to our live stream chat so we can be thinking of them also for our prayers of healing. Is there a name of someone that you're thinking of here in the sanctuary? We continue with Misha Berach. That's on page 371 in your prayer books, if you'd like to follow along. 371.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach מקור הברכה לאבותינו. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We're going to continue now with the chanting of the Haftarah. This is where you, if you wish to sort of do a little juggle of your books, you can follow along with the blessings if you want to in your prayer book. They're on page 372. You can also follow along with the actual Haftarah. That is on page 947 in your Torah book. So if you want to do a little juggling, Torah book 947, prayer book 372. I thought someone would yell bingo, but no one did, unfortunately. So it's just a great, I mean, they're all great Haftarah, but this is a great Haftarah. It matches perfectly with the Torah portion. Every Haftarah has a connection to Torah portion, and Torah portion connection to Haftarah, but this one could not be any closer to the Torah portion, because you guys talked about how you can't drink any sort of strong drink or wine, right, or cut your hair. And there's a whole story about a guy who's born in the Haftarah, right, what you were about to chant, that does everything he's not supposed to. And his name was Samson, Shimshon, if you will. You know, ever heard of Samson and Delilah? No? I'm getting a little bit of a nothing. Great. Okay, excellent. So, again, if you follow along with the Haftarah, 947.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nei tovim v'ratzav v'divreihem hanamarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah u'Moshe avdo Israel amo v'viyei hamet v'tzedek. Vayehi ish echad mitzara v'mishpachadni u'shemo manoah v'ishto akara v'lo yalada v'yera machanai el ha'isha v'yomer elecha hinena atzakara v'lo yaledet v'harit v'yaledet ben v'yata Isha Rina ve'al tishti yain ve'shichar ve'al tochli kol tameh ki hinachara ve'ladet ben umara lo ya'ale avrasho ki nazir Elohim yeh anar michabaten ve'hu yachel lehoshia et Israel me'ad Pilishtim.
ותבוא האישה, ותאמר לאישה, לאמור, איש האלוהים בעלי, ומראהו כמראה מלאך האלוהים נורא מאוד, ולא שאליתיהו מזהו, ואת שמו לא הגיד לי, ויאמר לי, כי נערה וילדת בן, ועתה אל תשתי יין ושחר, ואל תאכלי כל טומאה, כי נזיר אלוהים יהיה הנער מן הבטן עד יום מותו. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, tzor kol ha'olamim, tzadik bechol hadarot, ha'el ha'ne'eman, ha'omer ve'oseh, handeber umkayem, shechol debarav, Emet v'tzedek, al ha'torah, v'al ha'avodah, v'al nevi'im, v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh. Shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, l'kedusha v'limnuha, v'havod u'tif'aret. Al ha'kol, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim la, u'varchim ota, ibarashim ha, befi kol hai, tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha'shabbat.
Amen. Simen tavu, mazel tavu, simen tavu, mazel tavu, simen tavu, mazel tavu, simen tavu, yehelanu, 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 ulechol Yisrael, yehelanu, yehelanu, ulechol Yisrael, simen tavu, mazel tavu, simen tavu, mazel tavu, simen tavu, mazel tavu, simen tavu, yehelanu.
Woo!
Mazel tov.
Woohoo! Mazel tov. Now, I feel like you guys want to do that again. Yeah. Something tells me you kind of want to do the Torah reading and the Haftorah again. No. All right. Okay.
Next year.
All right. Maybe for the holidays, though. What do you think? No. Also getting a no. Well, we might force you to do that. We'll see. We'll decide. Well, Mazel Tov. Well done. Great, fabulous Torah portion. Beautiful Torah, Haftarah. Really great. We are going to, at this point, we're going to close our Torah service. So you can put away your Torah books. Your big Torah books can be done. We are done with those. We are now back to the regular prayer books, our Sidurim. And we are going to continue now on page 374, back in your prayer books. 374 for us to conclude our Torah service.
Yehalelu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado, hodo al haaretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren le'amo, tehila lechol chasidav, Livnei Yisrael Ham Kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ki lekach tov natati lachem, Torati al ta'azovu. Eitz chaim hi lamachazikim ba, v'tomheha meushar. Deracheha darchei noam, v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva. Chadesh, Chadesh Yameinu kekedem.
I'd like to thank our family and friends for being here today to celebrate with us both in person and virtually. I am one very lucky woman to have the support and love of so many people who are celebrating this milestone event with us. Jane Howard once wrote, "Call it a clan, call it a network, call it a tribe, call it a family. Whatever you call it, whoever you are, you need one." As I stand here today, I am certain that I have achieved exactly this for my boys and myself, for we are enormously blessed and truly grateful to be surrounded by such an incredible village, both near and far. Boys, I'm not sure how we got to standing here today, watching you become B'nai Mitzvah. You were just born. Being your mom has been and will always be the biggest joy. I am so proud of the work you put into this day. You set goals for yourself, coordinating your own tutoring schedule with Tomer, thank you, and made sure you did all you had to do with only a few friendly reminders. You stood up here today, confident and poised, and did an unbelievable job, and I couldn't be more impressed. I could sit here for hours and go on about your personality traits that are so fabulous, what makes you special, and how much fun I have with you both. But instead, I've decided to go with the wishes I have for you both as you enter this new chapter in your lives. Be adventurous, live big, step outside your comfort zone. Be curious, dig deep, ask why, and discover your own answers. Be your own thinker. Think for yourself and set your own path. It won't always be easy, and you may not follow the popular vote, but you will be doing what you believe is right. Be brave. Try new things. Throw yourself into new experiences. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Be persistent. Keep going and never stop if you are fighting for what you believe in. Reach out for help. When you need an ear to listen or a helping hand, don't be afraid to ask for it. My most important goal for you that I share with you daily, be kind. Help those around you. Listen to what others have to say, and make sure they have a kind word to say back about you. Always surround yourself with people who add value to your life, who challenge you to be greater than you were yesterday. Life isn't meant to be done alone. Find your tribe. I personally think we have a really great one, and no matter where your journey leads you, always just be you.
We have some gifts for you. Do you want some gifts? All right, good. I'm like, all right, I'll take some gifts. All right. So they're sort of on the bottom left there. You see them? There are two gifts. Good. There are two other gifts, and then there are two books. See, there are two books down there too. Yeah. Nice. Good. Yes. All right. So let's start with the books. Open the covers. Let's see whose is whose. There should be. Ah, you switched. All right. There was a 50-50 chance that whatever. But now, does one say Tyler? And one says Logan? Logan, do you have yours? Tyler, do you have yours? Sweet. All right. Good. So we did this right. Excellent. That makes me very happy. What is that? What's that book, by the way? It's the Torah. We thought it'd be a good gift to give you since, I don't know, it's B'nai Mitzvah and it's Shabbat, and so we gave you the Torah. Wait. What, does it say something on the inside? What does it say on the inside? Who wants to read it?
Turn it. And
Great, thanks, Tyler. Why don't you read it? Go ahead. Great idea. Thanks, buddy. Yeah.
Turn it and turn it, for everything is in it. Talmud, a vote 5.2.
Well, it says more. What does it say?
Oh, presented to my name, Tyler Witt, on the occasion of his bar mitzvah. Nassau, May 22nd, 2021, 11 Sivan 5781, by Congregation B'nai Israel, Boca Raton, Florida.
Sweet. Logan, what does yours say? I'm just kidding. It says the same thing. Yeah, it says the same thing, I would hope. Does it have your, but it has your name there, right? Have the same information? Does it say it's also a Congregation B'nai Israel? Same date? Whew! Sweet. All right, we did this well then. Nice. Okay, you guys can put the books aside. Okay, what are we opening next? The thinner gift or that one? All right, great. There are names on them. Make sure you open the right one. Logan, open the one that says Logan, okay? Tyler, you open the one that says Tyler. What'd you get, Logan? What does it say?
It's called A Voice Called, Stories of Jewish Heroism.
I got a book called Isaac's Army, A Story of Courage and Survival in Nazi-occupied Poland.
Oh, interesting. That's awesome. You got books. So you got books, you got Torahs, and you got something else. What'd you get? It's a lot of opening there. All right, you did it. What'd you get?
We each got a Kiddush cup.
Oh, a Kiddush cup. Fabulous. Nice. So you can use that on Shabbat. You can use that. At different holidays to sanctify holidays. I did a wedding not that long ago, and the bride and the groom both had their cups from their B'nai Mitzvah, and they used them underneath the chuppah to get married. So we're not rushing you, by the way, to the chuppah, but we got time. But in case when you get there, you have a Kiddush cup, so you're ready to go. See that? We prepared you. You have a Torah for the way. You have a book to keep you busy, and then just in case the chuppah shows up, not anytime soon. No, don't worry, not anytime soon. Then you're going to have the Kiddush cup, right? All right. Now I get to talk to you. So I'm going to say this for Sarah's benefit, mostly. I usually say that I don't think that you picked your Torah portion. I think it chooses you, actually. And I think that fits perfectly for the two of you, and I'll tell you why. As a rabbi, I'm supposed to say to you, live Torah. I'm supposed to say, right? So what does that mean? What does that mean to live Torah? It means to study the text, to understand the text, and then utilize it to live in a very Jewish way. You talked about how you're doing the SCOPE program and how you chose to live Torah, to live what the Torah tells us is to reach out, to provide for others, for us to think of others, not just of ourselves, right? The Torah teaches us how to behave. It teaches us how we're supposed to interact with people, how we're supposed to be kind, how we're supposed to follow laws, how we're supposed to be nice to our parents, how we're supposed to keep Shabbat. Now I can help you with that, or we can all help you with that because you got Kiddush cups, right? And so we want you to live the words of Torah every day of your life. Now, up until now, you are not officially in the system, if you will. You were children to fulfill this. But now, you are still children, but you are, in the eyes of Judaism, you are now in. You are now in the system. So now, those mitzvot, those commandments, that living of the Torah, falls onto you to think of them yourself, to do them yourself, to fulfill them yourself. And beyond the SCOPE program, to think of others, right? To think of others and how you connect to Torah. So why do I bring this up with you? A, because I'm a rabbi, so I like talking about Torah. B, I think the two of you understand and live Torah, right? I mean, you clearly know this place very well. How many years have you been hanging out here? What's that? Yeah, nice. Okay. So we have long, big plans for you, by the way. Big plans for you for how to keep you connected here. And speaking of living the words of Torah, your Torah portion this week, which is called Nassau, good. Okay, good. Talks about that one special section, right? About the vows, right? These vows that we have to keep, these Nazirite laws and Nazirite vows. But you know what else is in your Torah portion? Something called the priestly blessing is actually in your Torah portion. It is perhaps one of or the oldest blessing that exists in Judaism, because it's actually inside of the Torah. It's a blessing in the words of the Torah that tells you what you're supposed to do. And that blessing, by the way, that priestly blessing, is supposed to connect with you. Those words of Torah, literally, like words from the Torah, book out, were probably said at your naming, at your bris. Do you remember that? Great. Yeah, it was. You were 8 days old. It's going to happen in a minute. Here, it's going to happen not anytime soon, but under the chuppah when you get married. And this is the blessing that follows you all the days of your life. And believe it or not, it's in your Torah portion. So not only will you know your whole lives about the structure of your Torah portion, you talked about these vows and these Nazirite laws, but you should also know that living the words of Torah, connecting you with this Torah, in your Torah portion are the words of the priestly blessing. I don't know about you, but as a rabbi, I'd be pretty excited about that. I mean, I'm like, come on. It's literally in the text. It's like we're about to do it, and it's in the text. So, speaking of about to do it, Sarah's last moment here on the bima to share with us these words that, by the way, we share every week with every single one of our students, our kids, our B'nai Mitzvah. We share these words with them. But for you especially, because they connect to your Torah portion, they're in the words, they're especially important. And we're also going to do a special tune that you requested, right? The words of priestly blessing are in the Torah. The tune we change anytime we want. But we're going to be using the tune from Miss Susan, isn't that right? Because that's the one that you requested. And so we're going to be sharing with you these words that are in your Torah portion. Now, if we were not in the weird COVID situation that we're in, we would have you up here. We would have our hands on you, because that's how you're supposed to really properly transfer this blessing, with hands on someone. So you'll imagine that we're standing next to you, and we're giving you like a good Rabbi Cantor hug, but we're going to do it from here and share with you the words of the priestly blessing.
May God bless you and keep you. May God's presence shine and be good to you. May God's face turn toward you and give you peace. Blessed is Adonai. Amen. Give Adonai panav elecha God's presence shine and be good to you. May God's face turn toward you and give you peace. Blessed is Adonai. Amen. Blessed is Adonai. Amen.
We are going to begin to conclude our service with Aleinu. That can be found on page 586. 586 in your Siddur, in your prayer books. And together we stand.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו, ושמו, ושמו אחד.
We transition our thoughts now to us reciting Kaddish Yatom, Mourner's Kaddish. We think of Renee Warman, Rochelle Warman, Roberts, Ran, Abraham Warman, Owen Sass. We think of in the period of Shiva, Nicole Dreisis. In the period of Shloshim, the immediate 30-day mourning period, Louis Teckel. And our yortzites that occur for us today here at Congregation B'nai Israel, Arthur Adler, David Osofsky, Esther Berman, Benjamin Brager, Charles Brager, Nathan Buckman, Max Davis, Sorrell, Egglosteen, Anna Gersten, Samuel Gottesman, Therese Harris, Abraham Jaffe, Florence Janis, Ellen Kasten, Naomi Katz, Samuel Klein, Brad Levin, Irene Miller, Edwin S. Newman, Joseph Peretz, Ann Rosenberg, Dorothy Shear, Julius Schiller, Eileen Shestak, Theodore Siegel, David Silverman, Helen Skillman, Edith Stone, Pauline Smith, Stanley Smith, Stanley Tamber, Hyman Tanzer, Bruce Wetzler, Martin Wolfman, Donald Young. To those names, we had any name that you would like to add at this time here in our sanctuary, or those of you on our live stream, of course, please enter any names, and we are thinking about them as well. As we continue with Mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom, page 598. Yitgadal v'kadash shmei rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon, uv'chay lechol beit Israel, b'ayala v'zman karev v'emru amen. Yeheh shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam ulmei olmaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשה בריחו לאלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו V'yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'yimu. Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. As together we say, Amen.
Amen.
How would you like to end the service? What do you think?
Well, we could do the usual way.
Oh, we could do the usual way. Okay, that's a good idea. We could do the usual way. I mean, this is your last service here at Congregation B'nai Israel, so I feel like you should pick.
Do you want to do an unusual way?
Sometimes we do an unusual way, even though it's a usual way. But
Okay.
do you want to do the usual way?
Sure.
Okay, well then we're going to do the usual way, which is Ein Kelohenu, which can be found on page 626 if you're following along still in your prayer book. 626, the usual way. Ein Kelohenu.
Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kemalkenu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Elohenu, Mi Chadonenu, Mi Chemalkenu, Mi Chemoshienu, Nodal Eloheinu, Nodal Adonenu, Nodal Malkeinu, Nodal Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu.
As we conclude, I just publicly will say that Ken or Sarah, we've spent 4 years together here, and I am honored to have worked with you, and I appreciate all of your guidance, especially at the beginning when I first got here, because you've been here for years, and I did not know how anything turned on or functioned, so thank you. And even though I make fun of Swampville, I know you're going to Swampscott, and they are very lucky to have you. I spoke with them. They know you. I've warned them about all of the things that you need. They are prepared. They have Coca-Cola available in Boston, in the Boston area. I asked.
And Boston creams.
They have clearly they have Boston creams because it's near Boston. So even though we also had a sort of formal send-off for you yesterday, I'll just let you know that from the congregation, from the Keller family, we will miss you, the Freudenbergers. We'll miss you and Peter and Aria and Ada, and we wish you the best of luck. And Swampscott is very lucky to have you. And for you boys, incredible, fabulous, wonderful. We are lucky to have people like you who make our congregation what it is, a holy congregation. And thank you for your words and your thoughts and your focus. And to all of you in the congregation and to those on the live stream, we hope you have a wonderful Shabbat. Adonai oz la'amo yiten. Adonai v'lechet amo v'shalom. May God give strength unto our people. Continue to bless us with hope and strength and love and peace. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Shabbat
shalom.
shalom.
Mazel tov. Shabbat shalom.